Before engaging within this class, I've never really understood what treaties truly are. As hard as embarrassing as it is to say, I did not know what treaty land I was living on until I took a history class in high school. This is where it really became apparent to me what land I was living on. I want to start by introducing the art piece that I created. This is a watercolor painting that I created to represent my journey of engaging within this class, with the bottom part representing my identity and prior knowledge. This bottom part also brings forth the term of Muskasuin, which helps to bring forth an understanding of who we are in relation to treaty. Exploring my identity was tough, as I have never thought about my identity in relation to my ancestors before. After talking to my grandparents, I found out that both sides of my family are settlers from Germany, and the German flag represents this. Through this, I came to the realization that I'm a white settler. Although using the term of white can often feel uncomfortable, I've learned that this is a key part in representing your identity. Moving over, the wheat and wood symbol represents the resources that many Canadians, including myself, have used from the land. I have learned that many of the things we use, including these objects, are from the land, and furthermore are often taken from the land without consideration to the First Nations peoples. The next symbols are the book apple along with the question mark and the eye. These symbols represent the part of my identity which is not only my education as a child, but my growing identity as a teacher. I think that although I had limited education of treaties in school, it is never too late to learn. I want to be the best teacher that I can be for my students, and engaging in Tapawaywen is the right way to do that. Within our Treaty Elders of Saskatchewan book, Cardinal and Hildebrand state that in order to have a true understanding of treaties, we must engage in not only examining the oral evidence and oral history of the First Nations peoples, but looking at the reports of missionaries and so-called articles of treaties. And this is where I should start. Moving on, we go to the top. This is where my journey began. This brings forth all the new learnings that I gained from this semester. On the far left side, there is a tree. This represents the importance of recognizing the land as a teacher and not just something that we live on. The land offers us so many resources, and it is crucial that we represent these offerings. Along with the tree is a person with a scroll, and this represents the land acknowledgements, which within our weekly presentations, we had the opportunity to engage in creating our own land acknowledgement, which both provided me with uncertainty and clarification. To be able to personally engage in one of these was truly meaningful. This also helped me to engage in Muskasuin further. There's a bridge that helps me to connect the two sides of the painting together. This also helps to show my journey from bringing together prior knowledge and new knowledge. It is so important to be engaged in education, and through careful reflection of the weekly engagements, I was able to create new understandings about treaties, and it also allowed me to engage in thoughts around the topic of Kichi Asomatwin. Moving up, I drew a picture of hands with glitter pieces around it. I thought this was an essential piece in thinking about the term of Miowichetwin. There's been a lot of steps in the right direction when making relationships between both parties, but it needs to continue. I've learned that this does not just include acknowledging the hardships such as residential schools, but it means bringing forth the hardships that are still happening today. For example, intergenerational trauma is commonly not acknowledged, and without doing so, we are truly unable to engage in Muskasuin. The wreath around the globe, along with the feathers and the dream catcher right in the middle, helped to signify my learning as an educator throughout this semester. Learning about cultural appropriation has really opened my eyes, not only in regards to treaty education, but also my choices within society. It is so important that we provide our students with accurate and non-stereotypical material. As Vowel states, it's okay to make mistakes. Maybe you had no idea about any of this stuff, but the best thing you can do is admit you didn't know and maybe even apologize if you find you're doing something disrespectful. A simple acknowledgement of the situation is pure gold, in my opinion. It diffuses tension and makes people feel like they've been heard, respected, and understood. Although it's inevitable that we will make mistakes throughout our teaching career, it is so important to put our biases aside for our students. And my goal as an educator is to provide my students with an education and acknowledgement that I've never had.